How's it going, friends? Everything behind me, this whole strip, it is Albertville outlet, premium outlets, Albertville Mall, which even if you have no intention on moving to Albertville, you still might end up here just for this alone. But Albertville is way more than just this outlet mall. Albertville is also a great spot to live. A lot of people are liking it. A lot of the folks that we're helping are moving here. So today's video is a virtual tour on Albertville, Minnesota. Let's get after it right now. How's it going, my friends? My name is Jesse Lynch, and I run the hardest working real estate team in the game called To the Twin Cities. And you can check out our website, tothetwincities.com. But this YouTube channel is all about helping you find a place to call home, a place to land here in beautiful, today a little bit chilly, Minnesota, the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Today specifically, Albertville, Minnesota. And that's whether you're buying a house for the first time or relocating here from a different city, state, country, dimension, universe, whatever it is. First-time home buyers and relocations, that's what we do, and that's what we do better than anybody else. So if either of those two things appeal to you, then do yourself a favor, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified so you can see every time we put out these videos. We do our best to put out the most immersive, honest, and I don't know, most fun videos on what it's like to live here in the Twin Cities, and educational in terms of the first-time home buyer stuff. And while I have you here, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a thumbs up and leaving a comment of any sort, truly would appreciate it. It's helpful to the video and the channel, but also to other folks like yourself who maybe are thinking about moving here, maybe thinking about buying a house, whatever it is. And if that is you, if you are thinking about making a move to the Twin Cities and buying a house, we would love to be the ones who get to help you buy your home, buy the right home in the right neighborhood for the right price. So go to our website, tothetwincities.com. You can reach out to us via a contact form. It's absolutely a piece of cake to fill out, or you can shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities.com. Completely up to you what route you take as far as that goes, but they both lead to the same inbox, so we'll get back to you. Today's video, virtual tour of Albertville, Minnesota. This neighborhood I'm in, absolutely adorable. That lake right over there is Hunter Lake. School Lake is a little bit over this way. These houses are great, custom builders and stuff in here. I actually know one of the custom builders personally that builds, well, they have some homes here. So yeah, it's a great spot. And Albertville, small but mighty. I'm gonna go meet up with Nick from the team in just a moment here. And yeah, we'll get after it. Who doesn't love like playgrounds, benches, walking paths within a city? So nice. All right, let's go. All right, friends, right now we're at Lions Park. Also say what up to Nick. What's going on, y'all? In the comments. Clearly an old depot behind us. This is an old rail car. This is kind of a cool municipal park vibe in kind of the old classic downtown of Albertville, which quite small. There's a few like kind of, like watering hole bars kind of things down on the main street. Big obviously bar and grill. That's true. And then church and all that, and then sort of the municipal park. I'll just show you here behind us here with baseball field, hockey rink, and what is that called? A grain elevator?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, classic railroad stuff from Minnesota. And yeah, Albertville, super small footprint, but more and more just becoming something that people are interested in. People are targeting. Specifically, I would say people looking for a newer home, a new build, or just something that's quiet, a little bit removed from the city.
Yep.
And we'll dive into some of the specs on that. But yeah, this is in the downtown. We'll kind of go to the more suburban area as well. And I guess we started the whole thing at the premium outlets, which was almost ubiquitous with Albertville.
It is.
Yeah, it certainly as a kid, it was like,
It's the landmark.
that's what it was, oh, you mean the outlet mall place? But it's more than that now.
So Albertville, as far as where it's located, we're on the 94 corridor here, about 30 minutes from downtown Minneapolis, and then we're about halfway to the St. Cloud Metro, I'll call it. Distance to the airport, about probably 40 to 45, depending on traffic, and then to get to downtown St. Paul, depending on which way you take in, you're going to see the same thing, about 40 minutes, give or take.
For sure, yeah, you're cutting through, you know, Minneapolis or going all the way around to get to downtown St. Paul. So not particularly convenient to there, but yeah, if it's similar to, I think we talked about this in the video about Rogers. With Steve and I, we talked about that it's like, not a whole lot of people are going to St. Cloud for economic reasons, right?
Yeah.
That said, we met with a client, we have some awesome people we're working with who, she is a teacher in St. Cloud,
Yeah.
only like 2 days a week. So it makes sense. You know, this might be a perfect spot where, okay, you can go there, but not have to live in St. Cloud. No shade intended on St. Cloud. You can still be closer to the Twin Cities Metro, but yeah, still have access to both.
Yeah. So Rogers, as an area, geographically speaking, is pretty petite, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's not a massive area, but it is right off the 94 corridor, like we just mentioned. So it's our belief that given the highway access, this will be in the path of progress for years to come. That said, the population since about the last 10 years, I believe, has grown by just over 8%, and it's now sitting just below 8,000. So again, not a huge town.
Yeah,
And I'm saying town, not city.
yeah, town's fair at this point. And it's such a small geographic thing that it might just forever be just a small suburban town. You know,
Yeah, you never know.
even when it's fully developed, it'll still be a pretty small piece of land. But still desirable for a lot of reasons. And like Nick was saying, and again, Steve and I talked about this in the Rogers video, how our metro very much grows from the center out, like a lot of places, but how we are geographically, kind of all sides, north, south, east, west of the metro, it is expanding. And I would say you can see Rogers specifically had in the last 20 years 414% growth, and that is just slightly closer to the metro than Albertville. So to me, Albertville is just on deck. It's the next up, and it is very much the path of progress, and yeah, convenient for a lot of reasons, you know.
Yeah. So one of the major draws to the area specifically, that's kind of a driver of the growth, if you will, is going to be the school districts.
Big time.
Albertville is serviced by the St. Michael Albertville School District, which has a full A, no plus, no minus,
Full on A. Yep.
just solid.
Very good. Yeah.
And actually, fun fact, the school district is the #1 school district for athletes in all of Minnesota,
All of Minnesota.
which is kind of random, but cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely kind of it's a sleeper, right? It's so far away from the metro that's kind of a surprise. By the way, skate park, cool. Shred. And you know, it's interesting that the best school for athletes, according to neat.com, in fairness, is all the way up here, right?
Yeah.
Is 30-ish minutes from Minneapolis. And Yeah.
Which is interesting when you take into account the likes of Edina, Minnetonka,
Right.
Prairie, some of these powerhouse schools in the metro.
Right, and it's ranked 8th school district overall in Minnesota, which, again, pretty
good because all of our schools are solid here.
Yeah, and exactly.
Compared to the nationwide average.
Yeah.
Minnesota schools are just great, so
it's super compelling. Yeah, it's a very compelling spot for that alone. And one of the reasons that we're doing a video on the area is just because people are drawn to it, and that's one of the biggest reasons. St. Michael Albertville High School, senior high, gets an A. St. Michael Albertville East Middle School A, the West Middle School A, and a ton of elementary schools with A ratings. So it's like pretty consistently schools that, you know, your child would be attending if you lived in Albertville are A rated.
So all that being said, the median home price in Albertville is $464,000. So it's getting up there, but you know, part of that is due to the good schools, and that kind of house is going to be a big house, probably 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms or more, with a decent amount of yard.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good variety of housing stock here, right? We're kind of in this old school downtown area where you can get a house for, you know, $300,000 potentially, but it's going to be older. But then there's also some new builds coming in that are like absolutely gorgeous, but they're, you know, more closer to 600-700.
They're skewing that number.
Yeah, those new builds, which is, again, we're in the path of progress. Those are very much impacting that median home price, but that's mostly what's available here. You know,
line up, same thing.
Yeah, the same. Rogers too. Like,
yeah,
that price is high, but it, you know, I bet the average age of a home here is relatively new compared to a lot of other spots.
Yeah, probably 1990 or newer.
Yeah. We're actually just gonna hop over to a new build community, or at least a newer built community, and kind of show you what that's about, which is, I feel like, a huge majority of what's going on in Albertville, a huge majority of what our clients have sort of been leaning towards up in this area.
What's going on, y'all? We are in a beautiful neighborhood here in Albertville. We are adjacent to the Cedar Creek Golf Course, which some of you may know. Big golf guy.
Yeah.
This area is going to be a great example of kind of the higher end housing stock in Albertville.
Absolutely.
And a lot of this is existing construction.
Yeah.
A little caveat.
Yeah. So yeah, there are new builds going on here. This is a little bit older than some of that, but some really beautiful houses, stuff that looks, you know, views across the golf course and all that. More of a top golf guy myself, but I might live on a golf course just because it's beautiful. And yeah, you know, I think we're gonna talk pros and cons of Albertville. You probably know what I'm gonna say. First pro, I say this every time it happens, great schools, and truly great schools.
Yeah.
Not just like pretty good, but like really good schools.
Some of the best in the state, top 10 school district.
Best for athletes too, which is huge.
Number 8 in the state as a whole.
Yeah, that is hard to argue with for sure. Yeah, what a nice, let me just show you a little bit.
Gonna be out playing 18 next week.
Golly, that is.
And the sky is beautiful. It's just a beautiful day.
Yeah, beautiful little spring day we got ourselves here.
It's been a cold Minnesota winter.
Yeah, it's true, it has been. What do you got? Other pros?
Pros, obviously we just did a little 360. Lots of great outdoor spaces here. It's just nice and quiet, and it's definitely going to be feeling very suburban, even though we're a bit removed from the city.
Yeah, peaceful, right?
Yeah.
I would absolutely put that as a pro.
Lots of people walking in the neighborhood, dogs off the leash, kids riding bikes in the street.
Yeah,
it's very much that vibe.
Yeah, it reminds me of like where I grew up. You know, definitely had a good, you know, good space to grow up in. You know, I felt safe at the time, and this reminds me of that.
Yeah.
You know, I would also say that the housing stock is generally pretty new here. You know, there's some older stuff for sure, but for the most part, pretty new, which in general comes with things like modern floor plans. You're not as worried about mechanicals going out, that kind of stuff. Generally, yeah, foundation, good roof, you know, kind of situation, windows. Yeah, so yeah, I think you can see it in the background a little bit. But
nice.
Yeah, nice stuff. There's some patio homes here. Maybe you already said that.
I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
We drove by some on the way in. It's a patio home, for those of you that may not know, is a one-level home built on a concrete slab, no basement.
Yep. Which
uncommon up here.
Yeah. For example, my mom would love one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tend to be kind of older communities. That's a kind of a blanket statement, but
yeah, you'll see 55 plus communities with
people that don't want to be going up and downstairs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, so newer housing stock, fairly diverse housing stock. And a lot of the time in these like newer areas, you're going to find smaller lots where the houses are kind of crammed together. That's not the case here. At least this neighborhood, most of the neighborhoods I've seen are pretty good. Some over by the lakes, right? Over by like School Lake and Hunter Lake. A little bit tighter of lot, but it's also beautiful and kind of like that tight-knit community feel. So I don't know, but generally good sized lots here in Albertville. This guy loves lots too.
Yep, big dog owner here. A couple of final pros is the access to the St. Cloud area, and then access to up north. You might get some people that live in this area that have some homes up north, and your journey is going to be cut down a little bit being up here.
Yeah, you got the jump on everybody else, and you know, a thing that we have some clients and have had some clients who kind of the Minnesota dream is to buy a house in the metro and also buy a cabin, right? That's step 2 to the Minnesota dream.
Yep.
And yeah, so this would be a good spot as far as that's concerned. Still in the metro, technically kind of right on the edge.
We're on the cusp.
But yeah, you have the jump on all the other traffic, which actually leads us to the first con, which is that there's going to be that Friday afternoon traffic on the way up north.
94 traffic is not always fun.
Yeah, what are you going to do, you know?
They've done a lot of work on it though in the last year.
Yeah.
Widening the lanes, repaving it, but it'll get jammed up sometimes in the summers.
Yeah, like
sure.
a holiday weekend, like, yeah. But you're living here. It's like, unless you're also headed up north, or maybe that's part of your commute, it might be annoying, but it's not so egregious and not so frequent that it's really going to affect your lifestyle.
Just something you might pick up on.
Yeah, all that much. They have a pool.
Yeah, that's the island.
A pool and a view of this little pond situation.
And a nice fairway.
Nice. Sand trap, that's pretty much where I would probably spend most of my time golfing.
I'd rather be in the sand than the
That's fair.
Take it from me.
That's fair. So yeah, we got the first con is sort of that traffic. You got any other cons?
Cons. Well, it could be a pro or a con, but we'll say that it's a con is that the fact that you are out here a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a ton of commercial amenity in Albertville. We talked earlier about how it's a small landmass, and yeah, you're gonna have to go down to either Rogers or Maple Grove for some things.
A lot of your errands, really, I would say, at least down to Rogers.
Yeah, which isn't too far, but it's a thing, and which would tie back into the traffic once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you're just, you know, a lot of your errands, a lot of your conveniences aren't going to be right here. It has the outlet mall, which is great, but first of all, how often does one go to an outlet mall?
It's by and large clothing though, so it's not, you know, you're not buying your groceries over there.
Clothing and like weird foods that you would like gift somebody just to be walking on a golf course.
We're just walking on a fairway in a video.
Yeah,
let's go. Yeah. Well, we were talking about the lots. You can see some of these lots over here. They're big.
Yeah. I mean, quite large. Yeah, for sure. Another con for sure is just that the median house price here in Albertville is higher than the median, you know, of the rest of the metro. With the caveat, we already kind of talked about it, but with that house price, you're getting newer houses. So Yeah.
Yeah.
With also the newer houses here are going to be cheaper than if you bought a new house in Maple Grove.
Yeah, or even like Fort Brand or
Yeah.
anywhere that they're building closer to the metro.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, house prices are higher on median, but if you looked at the new build house, it's actually a little more value here than
Definitely.
some of the other areas.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I mean, not by a ton. You're not going to get like a half off discount, but
No, but you might get maybe some more square footage, an extra bedroom, maybe an extra garage stall for
Yeah.
the same price.
a little more acreage, something like that.
One last con that I thought of, just being someone that lives in the city, this area is going to be more exposed to the elements.
Yep.
The periphery of the metro are the areas that can have exposure to hailstorms, high driven winds, stuff like that. So that's something you'll get more up here when you don't have the kind of the shelter of the city, so to speak.
Yeah, just more frequent. I mean, even a tornado might be more likely to hit up here.
It's flatter up here.
Yeah, exactly. And
A bunch
like,
of roofs were getting done in the neighborhood that we were driving through.
Yeah.
So
a lot of new roofs on houses that are not brand new.
Yeah.
You know, so,
and siding and windows.
which, hey, maybe
So,
that's a,
Yeah, I got a guy for that.
yeah, we do. He does have a guy for that.
Couple of guys.
Yeah.
So maybe not the end of the world, but if you're petrified of tornadoes,
Yeah.
maybe you want to live a little closer to the city.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they do occur up here.
Yeah. And then to me, I guess kind of on the same note, it's kind of the end of the road, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously 94 goes way further, but as far as like conveniences, there's really no conveniences to the west and, you know, to the north, really.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but not much. So you're kind of, all of your sort of attention, all of your driving is going to be to the east and the south. And which isn't inherently bad. Some people like the idea of being at the end of the road and, you know, where it starts to chill out. But, you know,
Just
you're
something to consider.
yeah, if you're up on, you know, the northwestern corner of Albertville, well, then you're gonna have the longest drive to a lot of your sort of amenities and stuff.
Costco is going to be a little bit of a hike for you.
Yeah, is there a Costco in Maple Grove?
Yes.
Okay, well,
I don't think there's one in Rogers yet.
No.
You're either going to Maple Grove or there's a new one in St. Cloud.
yeah, Rogers does have a Target, a Cub.
Fleet Farm, Man Mall.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay.
Cabela's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's both.
Yeah, bless you. But
I'm an
that's
outdoorsman.
yeah.
Might not know it.
I'm a Fleet Farm guy for sure.
It's gonna Carhartt, huh?
Yeah, but that's I think that's it. That's all we got for pros and cons for Albertville. If you have any others that we missed, leave a comment. I'd be
Comment
curious to
below.
know. I'd be curious to know what you're thinking. A lot of these houses, one last note, Nick pointed out, they have a small garage door on the back of their garage for golf carts.
So we suspect.
I mean, what else would it be for?
A riding lawnmower for your big half-acre lot.
All of these golf course houses have that?
Pretty much all of them have it.
Yeah, so
9 out of 10 of them do. It's for golf carts.
it's for golf carts. Yeah. All right. I'm going to let Nick go, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some other areas that might do the trick for you if you like what you're seeing here. And
Both hands up.
say hey to Nick in the comments.
Take care, y'all.
All right, my friends, right now I'm in a neighborhood that really does a good job of showing like some really nice stuff that Albertville has to offer. First of all, there's a lake right here, and there's a bald eagle that was just landed on the ice. Now it's flying. That's cool. I don't care who you are, that's cool. Maybe I'm just a bird guy, but what are you gonna do? So before I get into some other areas that you might want to consider, if you like what you see here in Albertville, I would just like to say that if you are thinking about moving here, then get a hold of us and we'll absolutely crush it for you. And nobody will work harder for you than we will. So you can go to our website, tothetwincities.com. We have a contact form there that you can fill out. Literally take you moments of your day, or you can shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities. twintcities.com. They both lead to the same place, so you know, do whatever you want. But we just ask that you do, and we would truly love to be the ones who get to help you find the right house in the right neighborhood for the right price, all that. So let's dive in. What are some other spots for fans of, if you like what you see here, you might want to consider the following places. For one, you may have noticed that we're doing sort of 3 videos in a row. I kind of decided, like, let's just get after these spots that we have some clients asking about, and just get these videos done. Some remote clients, right, who are curious about these areas. It's like, all right, cool. We'll just get these videos shot for you so you can have an idea of what they're like. A big part of it was being attracted to the schools here, right? Which is fair. Another dog that's mad at me. Sorry, pup. So the first one that's going to come to mind, it's probably pretty obvious. It's St. Michael, right? St. Michael, Albertville, they share a school district, so which is a tremendous school district. So of course, if you want to be in that school district, you could be in either spot, right? And again, I don't know which one's going to come out first, but we'll have a video on St. Michael as well. So both have a lot to offer, and especially in regards to the schools, so worth checking out. Next up, I would say, is going to be Rogers. Rogers, it's getting a little cold. Sundown is coming up. Rogers is very, very similar in a lot of respects. It's also slightly closer in to the metro. It has more amenities than these do as far as sort of suburban staples and all that go, but it's not necessarily going to have the same school district. So if the school district is a priority, okay, keep that in mind, you know. But if you just like the idea of being up this way, then Rogers is a really good option as well. If you're looking for things that are not geographically located in the same area, if you're looking for something maybe in the southern metro, but you like the idea of being on the edge of the metro, I would check out Chaska. Chaska, maybe Jordan, those areas really have similar kind of vibes in, like, generally being, you know, borderline rural, but definitely suburban, and also generally pretty good schools as well. And then kind of on the northern edge, similar in a lot of regards, would be Centerville or Hugo, which Centerville is actually inside of Lino Lakes. So let's call Lino Lakes as well, would definitely be a solid option. Kind of similar in regards to geography, right? As far as like lakes and wooded areas and stuff. Chaska has some of that too. It's a little more rivery, I guess, if that's a word. I don't think that's a word. But all of those have some very similar sort of properties and just things going on where they feel pretty similar. The reality is there's a lot of choices that kind of are similar to what you're going to see here, similar price ranges and stuff in the metro. So just get a hold of us, and we'd love to talk through. We can kind of include a pretty big swath of area that we really think would probably do the trick for you. If this is like, wow, that seems like a great option, then you're gonna have a lot of other options as well in the Twin Cities. So absolutely reach out to us and we'll get you all set up on that. And as always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to it and click the bell so you get notified when we put out these videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and while I have you here, if you wouldn't mind, if you have not done so yet, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Say what's up, Nick, or something like that. All the guys on the team absolutely killing it, and just so lucky to have them to help me, and truly grateful to them. So if they happen to be watching this, thanks guys, and thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's definitely been a fun one to do, and hey, see you soon. Bye-bye.